Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Brad Eardley from Dream Career Revival, and it's day two of this week's Thanksgiving inspired series on gratitude. Yesterday, we talked about a few things. We're going to up the ante a little bit today with the skill set. Today is going to be a much shorter video, and I'm going to send you out into the world to do the work. And of course, we'll have new stuff tomorrow. We will have a training that'll be available to you on the day of Thanksgiving, and of course, the day after. So again, my name is Brad Eardley. I'm the creator of the Dream Career Revival coaching program, which helps burnt out professionals connect to their mission and purpose and then transition into their dream career. And I'm doing this series on gratitude because gratitude is, again, a very basic skill that has benefits for all of us. It is part of the Dream Career Revival coaching program. It's a very small part, but it is foundational, again, in my experience, for being a happy person and a person who is able to manifest the life that they want. So today, again, is going to be a continuation of what we talked about yesterday. So yesterday the title of yesterday was Move Beyond Acknowledgement. So in gratitude, one of the skills that people often do, or they teach, or they suggest, or whatever, is to make a list of all the things that you're grateful for. And so you make the list and you get to the end of your list, and maybe it makes a difference, but maybe it doesn't. And if it doesn't, the reason is because all you're doing by making a list is acknowledging things, people, whatever. There's a difference between acknowledging and feeling grateful. So acknowledgement is good. As I said yesterday, I say at the beginning of almost every training that I do, everything starts with awareness. Everything starts with acknowledgement. So it's good to make a list. And we did that, in fact, yesterday. But the important thing then is to go further, move beyond acknowledgement, move beyond your list. And how do you do that? You try to get very, very, very specific. And how do you know when you've gotten specific enough? You know that you've gotten specific enough when you actually feel grateful, you feel joyful, you feel abundant, you feel connected to others, you feel connected to spirit, to God, to the universe, whatever you call it. You feel something. It's not just like, oh, I should be grateful for this. Oh, or this is a good thing, right? This sort of analysis, judgment. It's not a bad thing. It's just not the same thing as feeling grateful. And it's really not as good as feeling grateful. So then how do you know if you're done it enough? Well, you notice your chest will start to open, your heart space will open, your shoulders will drop, your posture will improve. You will find yourself smiling. Like as I was going through the exercise yesterday, I was like, wow, blown away. I was feeling inspired. I was talking about being grateful for my wife, right? And then getting really, really specific about what it is specifically yesterday that I was really feeling grateful for. And what I was connecting with yesterday is her work ethic and how brave she is. And as I was thinking more and more about some specific things that she's done recently to improve her work ethic, I was really feeling not only grateful, I was also feeling inspired. I was actually feeling it. And although I love my wife all the time, I wasn't feeling grateful and inspired, even when I first started doing the video training. So again, you know you're doing it right when you actually feel something. So today is about doing that very same thing, but now we're going to condense it because the notion that you're trying to build in a gratitude practice is that there is, again, there are infinite things to be grateful for in your life. And your life is a life of abundance, actually, if you would just start to pay attention and allow things to mean what they really mean to you. And again, that's what it means to dig in and, well, why am I grateful for this? What specifically am I grateful for? So the exercise for today that I'm assigning to all of you is to think about five specific things that happened yesterday that you're grateful for. So again, not just what are you grateful for in your life, to think of five specific things that happened yesterday that you're grateful for. And if you want to make a list, you can do that. And again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to think of specific things that happened that lead you to a feeling of gratitude. Now, this is an assignment and there might be a little bit of stress involved. You might struggle a little bit. And so, again, your emotional experience might be a little bit different today than it was yesterday, but that's okay because you're trying to learn a new skill. So, you just sort of allow yourself to feel your perfectionist anxiety or whatever it is, or your frustration. This is dumb. Why am I doing this? And you just set those things to the side. You don't ignore them. You just set them to the side and you say, okay, wait. What are 5 things that happened yesterday that I'm grateful for? And I didn't do this in advance. I didn't want to cheat. And I want you to know, like, it's going to take me a second to do it as well, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with you. You can listen to what I'm doing. You can do your own process. But here goes. So the first thing that came to mind is that my son is not feeling very well, and he's fine, but he's just, he's not at his best. And so he was coughing. He's been coughing in the middle of the night a little bit the last couple nights. So 2 nights ago, I was up with him a lot, and my wife helped some, but we just sort of, it's on and off. We both help. We both just do what needs to be done. It's nobody's job. It's everybody's job. So the night before, it was mostly me. I was just with him. I was talking to him. I was helping him, giving him medicine, giving him milk, giving him juice, giving him water, taking him to the bathroom, changing his diaper, whatever it is that needed to be done. And when I went to bed last night, I was tired because I'd been up kind of and had rough sleep. And so my wife took it on last night, and she was with him, and she was dealing with him, and she was giving him medicine and giving him, hydration, and, just sitting with him, talking to him, nurturing him, and doing all those great things. And I was able I woke up one time, so that's the reason that I know this happened. But the rest of the time I slept, and I slept pretty well. And then around 4:30 or so, he woke because he had fallen asleep. She did an awesome job. And then around 4:30 or so, he woke up again. So I woke up at 4:30. I heard him, and I was like, I'm good to go. I'm going to go help him. So technically, that wasn't yesterday, but whatever. It was sort of started yesterday. It was continued and kind of like confirmed, this morning when I woke up at 4:30, which is not when I usually wake up, but I was like ready to go because I was like, wow, I was really supported last night. That was awesome. So that's the first thing that happened yesterday that I'm grateful for. What's another thing that I'm grateful for? Another thing that I'm grateful for truly is that I did yesterday's video because I'm very busy. I have a lot of clients. I have a lot of work that I do. And, and I have a wife, and I have kids, and I have a household. So there's always, there's always stuff to do. And some part of me is always like, you should take a break. You should rest. And I do. But I really wanted to do this group. And so, I just made a decision that I was going to do it. And I went through some technological difficulties of trying to figure it out. I realized that it was too long. And obviously at this point today, this video is going to be too long, and I'm going to have to post it to YouTube and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, this is not such a short video. But again, if you got the assignment, you can click out of this thing at any time. But that was awesome. I was proud of myself. So I'm grateful for that. I am grateful that, I went to pick up my daughter from her after school care. And she was running around having a great time with one of her friends. And so they were just having a great time. And I saw my 4-year-old daughter, and she's just happy and, connecting with a friend. And they were hugging each other, and they were telling each other how much they like each other. And as we left at the same time, her and her mom and my daughter and I. And they were like yelling at each other, like, bye, see you later, see you soon, have a great night. And they just like, they're just like yelling at each other as they're like in their like winter gear and sort of walking away from each other. They're just screaming at each other. And it's just like, man, they like each other so much. They're just feeling so connected right now. So that made me feel happy. That was awesome. Let's see, a fourth thing that happened yesterday that I'm grateful for. Is that I watched this, long story, there's this documentary. Chris Hemsworth is an actor. He's Thor in the Marvel movies. He's been in some other stuff too. But anyway, he's doing this series on National Geographic / Disney Plus called Limitless. And it's basically like he's, doing these things, not simply as an ego trip, I don't think, to encounter his limits. It's more about some really extreme things that he's doing to learn about how to handle his stress and his own fears and issues. So anyway, it's sort of a weird thing to watch. Zac Efron did something different in spirit, but kind of similar. It's a lot of privilege that goes into doing these things. But again, that sort of try to take that and let it be a privilege thing, but also like take it for what it's worth. So anyway, one of the things that he did was he did this cold water swim. And I hate being cold. I detest it. I don't like it at all. I can handle it, but I really don't like it. I struggle with it. I shut down. I worry that I'm going to get sick, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, one of the things that he did is he created this new thing where like, he's going to make the last 30 seconds of every shower that he takes like pure cold water. And I was like, I could do that. So I did that, and I've been doing it, and wow, it's amazing. It's totally amazing. So at the end of my shower, just turn off the hot water, let it just be cold water, and it is brutally cold. And it's all those things that happen, in the documentary. If you've ever done like a polar bear plunge or whatever, like what happens to your body, like it's like everything gets tensed, and your body is freaking out, and all it wants to do is shut down and seek safety. And so, like, again, I'm in the shower, I'm not in any danger, I'm not about to drown, I'm making a choice. And so it's a great opportunity to just practice mindful breathing and mindfulness. So I'm just really grateful that I've been able to do that. And it's been interesting. I feel like I'm benefiting from it. That's a fourth thing. And then a fifth thing from yesterday is that, let's see. Now I have to think. There are the good things yesterday, but I'm really trying to think about something that really made me feel a certain way. Oh, well, this was kind of a negative thing, but I tried to reframe it as a positive. So one of my bad habits, and this is truly not bragging, it's a lack of boundaries that I have, is that I have a tendency, and I swear to God, I'm not perfect. And honey, if you're watching this video, you know that you know the reality. If my wife asks me to do something, if I feel in the moment that I have the time, or if I, whatever, if I'm willing to make the decision, I have a tendency to drop everything and forget everything until I feel like I've helped her enough. And again, it is not bragging, because it gets me into trouble. It's really just poor boundaries. Oftentimes, even though I'm coming from a good place, it comes out and it creates other problems. So it's obviously a lack of boundaries as well. So anyway, the fact that I could even say that it's not a good thing that I sometimes drop everything to help my wife, and the fact that I could realize that my problem is a lack of boundaries, to me, I am very grateful for it, because it happened yesterday. She asked for my help, and I should have said, no, I can't do that right now. I really should have. And it wasn't anything that I should get credit for helping her, because it created stress, and I could have easily helped her. It didn't need to happen just that second. It really didn't. But it led to stress, and it led to another problem. So I don't know that, it's definitely not a new thing. It's definitely not a new problem, but I experienced it again yesterday, and I was like, man, again, like, what is my issue? And the issue is having boundaries and being able to say no when I need to. It's not that I don't know how to say no. That's not the issue. It's just that I need to learn how to say no when I need to. So anyway, I'm grateful for that, because that's something I want to get better at. I certainly don't want to say no more often. That's not what it's about. I just want to say no when I need to say no, no matter who it's to. And again, like, that doesn't mean never making sacrifices. It just means if I'm going to make a sacrifice, I need to be aware of what I'm doing, rather than say yes and then be like, oh crap, now I've got this other problem. I need to go into that with my eyes open. So anyway, that's good growth for me, and I'm grateful for that. It doesn't light me up the way the other things do, but it's like, you know what, that's good for me. I need to stick with that. So it's more of like a grounding gratitude that I feel there, sort of like feeling humbled. Anyway, now this is the longest training. It's longer than yesterday, and I doubt that anyone is still listening. But if you are, I hope that you have benefited from my sharing. I hope that you can see that it does take a second. It doesn't happen instantaneously, but it's worth it because right now I feel great because I just got to think of those things that happened yesterday. And when you think about something, you're bringing it into the present moment. So it's like, oh, I get to experience that all over again. Like I am in my grounded gratitude. I'm in my happy gratitude because of what I saw in my daughter. I'm in my like, wow, just so blessed gratitude of like my wife helping me. I'm in my proud gratitude for doing the video. And then off the top of my head, I can't remember what the other thing was. So anyway, maybe that was 5 and I'm just not keeping track. So anyway, that's how you do it. You dig in, you get real specific, and you look for that. You keep digging into it, like we said yesterday, until you actually feel something. And good luck. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.